All right, so I realized that there would have been no voice up till now. Just a moment. All right, so I guess it should not, it should be fine now. So we'll begin again. Good afternoon to one and all present here. So these are the MCQs for the year 2015 for environment and ecology, right? So I hope we are able to take up the discussion from here now. So let's begin again. So a very good afternoon to one and all present here. I hope you guys are able to, clearly see me and hear me now, right? So as we have been going on in this series of MCQs, we have been discussing the various previous year questions up till from 2011, and we finished up till 2014 yesterday. Today's agenda is going to be MCQs from 2015, right? Can someone please confirm in the comment section if I'm audible again, like if I'm audible now? There was a little glitch in between, right? So now going on with the questions from the year 2015, coming to the very first question for the lot today. Which of the following national parks, right? So which of the following national parks has a climate that varies from tropical to subtropical, temperate and arctic, right? So that is what you're supposed to tell me now. So we have A. Kanchenjunga National Park, B. Nanda Devi National Park, C. Neora Valley National Park, and D. Namdapha National Park, right? So you have to choose the correct option for this question from amongst these options given to you here. So a very easy hack that I will give you guys to solve this question is like first of all, like in case of any such location be or rather any such specification questions, one thing that should be clear to you is where are they located, right? So if you are able to work out where they are located, as in which state they are a part of or in which state are they located, you might as well be able to make up a mind as to which particular state out of these will be experiencing all these climatic types, right? So that is the hack to solving questions like these. So coming to this question, would you want to answer this, guys? What is going to be the option for answer A? So you can answer it with, you can just put in the question number and then write option A, B, C or D, whatever you think is correct. Quickly answer this question here, guys. So the correct answer to this question over here, guys, is going to be D, that is the Namdapha National Park, right? Why is it going to be D, that is Namdapha National Park? Because this is the national park that is located in the state of Arunachal, right? It is located in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. It is a very famous national park also for, the being the abode for the Namdapha flying squirrel over here, right? So this is something that is important here. And also Arunachal has varies, Arunachal does have a very varied climatic perspective, right? So at times it's going to be hot, at times it's going to be extremely cold and all those things. So obviously as a result of this, what is going to happen, we are going to see that it is definitely going to vary from here, right? So that is about it. I hope you guys are clear with respect to this, right? So the correct answer to question number 1 here is going to be D. So the correct answer here is going to be D. All right. Now coming on to the next question, guys, please feel free to answer even if you don't know. It's perfectly fine if you don't know the answer. Right, now this is a very interesting question. It says the Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscapes, right, is managed by the. So these kind of questions usually do come where they might talk about a certain, a report or an initiative and the associated organization or, associated, like what do we say, a fund or maybe a particular bank or whatever the case may be. So your options are A, Asian Development Bank, B, International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, C, United Nations Environment Program, and D, the World Bank, right? So which one out of these is going to be associated with or is going to be managing the Biocarbon Fund Initiative for Sustainable Forest Landscapes? Which one is it going to be? Which one is it going to be? बताइए जल्दी से which one is it going to be out of these? So the correct answer to this question over here is going to be what? It is going to be the World Bank. So the Biocarbon Fund initiative is basically looked after and taken care of by the World Bank. Right, so the World Bank is responsible for all the functions with respect to this particular agenda here, right? So it is basically looking after the Biocarbon Fund initiative for sustainable forest landscapes here, right? So that is the correct answer to this question. Now coming to the third question here, what is the third question? Yes, very good, Shoaib. It is correct. The correct answer to this question here indeed is the World Bank. Absolutely correct, right? Coming on to question number 3 now. What does it say? It says the Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, that is your GEAC, is constituted under the किस particular act के अंदर आपकी GEAC जो है that has been constituted, right? So I hope you all are aware of what the Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is. I will be explaining this shortly after this question, right? So it says A, Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006. B. Geographical Indication of Goods Act 1999. C. Environment Protection Act of 1986. And D. Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Which of the following act has been responsible for setting up of the GEAC? Quickly answer. Quickly answer. So guys, the correct answer to this question here is going to be C. That is the Environmental Protection Act of 1986. As you would all know that GEAC basically is the Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. It is responsible for giving approvals for the plantations and ready use of all the genetically modified crops or genetically modified organisms out there. You must have seen that this has been way too much in the news for issues like, giving go-aheads to GM mustard and still the GM mustard not being, put in use and all those things. It was very much in news, right? So it's very important when it comes to the aspects related to what exactly is going to be the implementation mechanism and approval mechanism for all your genetically engineered crops here, right? नाउ ऑल ऑफ दिस एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज इसमें ऑलरेडी एक और चीज आती है जो यूजुअली पूछ लेते हैं जो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन भी है दैट जीईएसी जो आपका है ये किस पर्टिकुलर मिनिस्ट्री का पार्ट है अंडर विच मिनिस्ट्री डज योर जीईएसी फॉल right? So GEAC basically falls under what? It falls under the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. Usually there is a misconception wherein people already usually misconstrue it to be a part of the Ministry of Agriculture or the Ministry of Science and Technology. Absolutely not. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is not a part of these two ministries, but instead it is a part of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And this is where mostly your questions come from. राइट यूजुअली आपका जो क्वेश्चन है वो यहीं से स्टेम आउट करता है दिस इज वेयर योर क्वेश्चंस आर यूजुअली asked from, right? So please make sure you keep a tab of the same. Now going on further, coming to the next question, that is question number 4, which says with reference to the Forest Carbon Partnership Facility, which of the following statements is or are correct? Right? So with reference to the Forest Carbon Partnership Facility, which of the following statements is or are correct? Right? Firstly, it is a global partnership of governments, businesses, civil society and indigenous people, right? Secondly, it provides financial aid to universities, individual scientists and institutions involved in scientific forestry, research to develop eco-friendly and climate adaptation technologies for sustainable forest management. Thirdly, it assists the countries in the REDD plus, that is reducing emissions from from deforestation and forest degradation efforts by providing them with financial and technical assistance, right? These kind of questions are very, relevant when it comes to the prelims preparation. You definitely do get a lot of questions from here, so make sure that whenever such a question comes, you guys are well aware of how to go about answering the same, right? So please select the correct answer from the options given here. Quickly choose the correct answer from the options given here. What is going to be the correct answer for this one? The correct answer for question number 4 here is going to be C, that is 1 and 3 only. Why is it going to be C, 1 and 3 only here? No, it's not going to be D, Gujard. It's going to be C. Why? Because the second statement here is absolutely incorrect. No such things are done with respect to Forest Carbon Partnership Facility. No individual scientist and university aids are given. Though when we speak of the first statement here, that is, it is a global partnership of governments, that is correct, and red plus वाला point जो है वो भी हमारा correct है, right? Second point is absolutely incorrect. So the correct answer to question number 4 here is going to be C, that is 1 and 3 only. All right. So please take note of the same. Now coming to question number 5, a very easy question if you can just apply a little bit of application based upon geography here. So it says in India, in which of the following types of forests is teak a dominant tree species, right? So in forests, may say the ones that have been shown over here, out of which, in which of the following types of forests is teak going to be a dominant tree species, right? Where is teak going to be a dominant tree species? Right? So that is going to be very important here, right? So the options that you have here are A, tropical moist deciduous forest, B, tropical rainforest, C, tropical thorn scrub forest, and D, temperate forest with grasslands, right? So you have to choose the correct option from the options given here. Quickly choose the correct option here, guys. Quickly choose the correct option. All right, so the correct answer to this question here is going to be A, that is a tropical moist deciduous forest. Why is it going to be A, that is a tropical moist deciduous forest over here? Because teak does not grow in a very dry deciduous condition, right? Sandalwood does, right? Sandalwood forests are mostly the dry deciduous forests that we have in the state of Andhra Pradesh, right? But when we are But when we are talking about teak, on the contrary, teak is a tree that grows in the moist areas or in the moist deciduous forests, right? Not in the dry deciduous ones, right? So make sure you remember this. What is going to be the correct answer to this question here? It's going to be A, that is your tropical moist deciduous forests, right? Please make sure you remember this. Coming on to question number 6 now, very, very simple. I've never seen a easier question, like a question easier than this one ever in the prelims. So the question here is, which of the following is the best description of the word ecosystem? That means out of all the definitions given here or all the statements mentioned here, which one best describes the ecosystem? Right? Which one is going to be the best description of the word ecosystem, right? So that is there. It is a community of organisms interacting with one another. B, the part of earth which is inhabited by living organisms. C, a community of organisms together with the environment in which they live. And D, the flora and fauna of a geographical area, right? So these are the four options that we have here. Very close, Gurjar, but it's not exactly going to be D here, but it's going to be C. Why is it going to be C? Because it's like a community of organisms together with the environment in which they are living, right? So we have the abiotic components and the biotic components in their little environment. That is how we define the term ecosystem, right? So that is the definition of the term ecosystem here, right? So that is exactly how we define the term ecosystem here, right? Is this clear to everyone? Has everybody understood this much? I hope this is clear. Just read through the definitions once. If you have a doubt, you ask me. The flora and fauna is just going to be the biotic component here, Gujar. It's not going to be, it is not including the abiotic components as well as the physical space that it is occupying, right? So those aspects are not being covered by it. Right, so when we are going to talk about the abiotic components along with the biotic components in the physical space that they are all occupying together, that is basically how we define, right? So that is how we basically define the term ecosystem, right? So this is how we define the term ecosystem here. Now, going on to now that we all know what COVID-19 is, you will definitely get questions from, aspects related to COVID-19, what it is, how did it spread, what are the various things associated with it, because we have not seen a similar pandemic. Like at least the generation UPSC exam now has definitely not witnessed any such, pandemics on a such a big scale, right? Now, coming to this one, it says H1N1 virus is sometimes mentioned in the news with reference to which one of the following diseases. So H1N1 आप लोग ने न्यूज में सुना होगा कभी कौन सी डिजीज के लिए H1N1 को जो है हम डिनोट करते हैं एड्स bird flu dengue or swine flu which one out of these is basically associated with the H1N1 virus which one is the H1N1 virus? Quickly tell me. Quickly answer, guys. Which one is the H1N1 virus? Very good, absolutely correct. No, Vishal, it's not going to be AIDS. AIDS is the HIV virus, right? That is HIV, right? Whereas when we speak about the swine flu, absolutely correct, Gujar, it is going to be H1N1. So H1N1 influenza is basically what we refer to as the swine flu. It's not going to be your AIDS, it's going to be swine flu here, right? Also, this year also, like when we talk about the prelims for 2021 now, you will get such questions wherein, aspects related to the medical health might be there, especially because of COVID-19, right? Because of COVID-19 outbreak, these kind of questions will become relevant from the examination point of view, right? So that is definitely there. So the answer is D, swine flu. Now coming on to question number 8 for today, it says, which of the following national parks is unique in being a swamp with floating vegetation that supports a rich biodiversity, right? So what all things are there? It's a national park, it is a swamp, and then what else does it have? It has a floating vegetation and it also has a rich biodiversity. So you have to tell me which of the following national parks will be satisfying all these conditions. Your options are A. Bhitarkanika National Park, B. Keibul Lamjao National Park, C. Keoladeo Ghana National Park, and D. Sultanpur National Park. Where do you think we will be having this national park? Like, where do we have this national park? I mean, which national park out of these is actually going to be satisfying all these conditions? Quickly answer, guys. Which national park is going to be satisfying all these conditions here? Quickly answer. Quickly answer, guys. This is a very simple question, usually one of the easiest national parks to even guess. Absolutely correct, Vishal. Absolutely right, Gurjar. It is indeed going to be what? It is indeed going to be your Keibul Lamjao National Park. Now, before we proceed, let me just discuss a few important aspects with respect to the Keibul Lamjao National Park. It is the only floating national park, right? You must have heard about the vegetation that is there, right? So it is basically it is basically called as the the like there are various floating masses that are there, which are called as your fumries, right? So those floating vegetation masses here that are there are called as your fumries, right? Now what do the fumries here do? Fumries kya karte hain? They, like this is the water there, right? Fumries are loktak lake hai basically ye. So loktak lake hai jo aapki, right? उसी के बीच में these land like this little masses of vegetation which are called as fumries are going to stay afloat, right? So as and when these fumries are going to stay afloat here, what are we going to see? What are we going to notice here? That a lot of small habitations, even at times a lot of deer, especially the very famous dancing deer is going to be here. Right, so we usually see, thank you. We usually see the dancing deer, which is found here, which is also called as the Sangai deer. What do we call it? It is called as the Sangai deer, right? The funny thing is, the Sangai deer is alternatively or alternately known as the dancing deer, and the reason as to why it is called the dancing deer is very peculiar. So you'll also find it funny. So since these are floating land masses, like floating, not land masses, but floating masses of vegetation here in water, right? So since these are going to be there, so what happens? Obviously, since it is water, since all of this is afloat, so pani ke saath wo behta jayega, right? So what is going to happen? It is going to be very difficult to, constantly balance there. So in order to balance on the water, it constantly keeps on moving like that, right? Since it keeps on moving like that, so what happens? People think that the poor fellow is dancing. वो डांस नहीं कर रहा होता, वो तो बेचारा अपने आप को बैलेंस करा रहा होता है उस पानी पर, right? So that is why it is called as the dancing deer, and this is why the Keibul Lamjao National Park is very very famous. It is on the Loktak Lake, right? So that is there. Also, guys, a little aspect that I would want to discuss here is that when we speak of the Loktak Lake, right? Loktak Lake जो है वो एक जल्दी से बताओ, is it going to be a wetland site in India? Is it a wetland like a Ramsar wetland site? Yes, it is. It is a Ramsar wetland site, and also India has only two Montreux record sites, right? पहले तीन थी, which was Loktak, Bhitarkanika, sorry, Loktak. Then we talk about the Chilika in Odisha, and lastly the like the one Keoladeo Ghana. But now only Keoladeo and your Loktak Lake are there. Chilika has been removed. So remember, Loktak Lake is also a Montreux record site in India, right? So please remember that as well, right? And obviously it's located in the state of Manipur. That part I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to. All right. So that was the answer B here. Now going on to the next question, I guess guys we'll stop here for today, right? We will continue with the discussion from here tomorrow. I would want to discuss a few things with respect to a few aspects related to the upcoming courses and all those things. So let me just quickly introduce you to that as well. So a lot of new courses are live on the platform, right? A lot of new courses have been recently launched on the platform. So please make sure you guys check them out whenever you guys get time, right? Also, there is going to be there are various what do we say, scholarship programs also going on. So make sure you guys check them out as well, right? So try and check them out for yourselves. If someone's interested, you guys can always take part, right? Other than that, a lot of batch courses have been launched, right? So we have the bilingual GS batch, which is the Mission UPSC. We have the Expedition GS batch, which is there, which is absolutely in English. And we also have the Lakshya UPSC batch, which is the Hindi batch, right? All of them have just begun on the 23rd of November. They have just been launched like right now. So those of you who are looking out for subscription here for all these batches, you guys can go on and check them out, and has and it has been already launched. So you guys can get yourselves enrolled for all these things here, right? That is very important. Obviously, you will get a lot of benefits out of this. Another thing that has been there is now all the free features on Unacademy are there. So, for joining all the free features on Unacademy, you will need an unlock code now, right? So, how does the unlock code work? You will be just a moment. I think I have a slide for that as well. Just a moment. So now all the free features, like all the free sessions and everything, free quizzes that are basically there these days. So in case you want to access that as well, you can easily access those also on the platform, right? The only thing you will be required to do there is, I'll just write it down here for you guys. So the only thing that you guys will be required to do there is that you will have to have a code, right? So you can use the code that is there. So you can use my code also. You can also use the code UPSC CSE to access, right? So you can use the code, just a moment, I need to write that down, right? Okay, so you can use the code UPSC CSE, like CSE, or you can use the code S Sharma 10, right? So that is the code that you will require to access all those free sessions from now on, right? So try and do that. Also, in case someone is looking for a UPSC CSE subscription, you can also check that out on the Plus platform. A lot of new batches have also been launched, so you can find that there. In case you want like a discount of 10% upon subscription, you can use my username S Sharma 10 to avail the same. And also, guys, I have launched a new course on environment and ecology, right? It has just been launched, right? It's an English batch, right? So those of you who want to get yourselves enrolled, you can do that. We will be having classes from the 1st of December, right? It's going to be continuing till the 15th of January. It is a 30 session course. It is a pre-com mains course. So everything with respect to the prelims as well as the mains exam is going to be covered comprehensively in here. So those of you who are interested to join in for the same might as well do that. This course comes with like sectional quiz practices. Obviously, the static portion and the current affairs are going to be covered, and most of all, there will be an inbuilt answer writing practice. That is your mains answer writing practice that is going to be taken up here, right? So that is one USP of this course, that there is going to be answer writing practice also that is going to be done in this course. So those of you who are looking for a complete one-stop solution here, you guys can definitely check this out. In case you don't have a subscription yet and you're looking for one, or you guys can please use my code S Sharma 10 and avail an instant discount of 10% upon subscription, right? So that is about it. On that note, guys, I will be concluding the session here for today, right? So that is pretty much all about this session for today, right? I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow the class is going to begin sharp at 4 o'clock. So please turn up on time so that we can quickly attempt as many MCQs that we can and get done with this like the paper of 2015 here, right? So thank you so much for attending the session here, guys. I hope you guys have understood everything clearly. In case you guys still have doubts with respect to anything, please feel free to reach out to me tomorrow or whenever you find time. So on that note, guys, study well, revise well, and take care. And I hope you guys have a great day ahead.